Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Brett from StrictlyDerby.com here again, bringing you the second part of our maintenance series we're doing. And today we're going to be talking about bearing cleaning, servicing, and relubrication. I guess we can just kind of call this episode the Ask and You Shall Receive episode, because we've been getting a lot of comments on our YouTube channel that this is what one of the girls wanted to see, and we were kind of up in the air, so we decided that we'll just go ahead and do this segment now. So we're going to go ahead and start with what you're going to need for the job. Number one, we'll start with, you're going to need the Cube bearing cleaning solution. And this can also be substituted for a few things. You can use mineral spirits. Anything that'll dissolve and clean off quickly is the key, because you don't want to have anything, number one, it's water-based, or two, that's going to leave trace elements on the bearing, so you want to just go from there. So we'll start with the Cube solution. You're going to need a rag. That's definitely important. Some dirty ass bearings that we got compliments of Max's longboard, so you can see this. So no, we're only going to be doing 8, so you're going to have to redo this twice to get it right. This is the Bones cleaning bottle, and you can see here that it comes basically bottle, then it's got the nut down it with the wing nut, and then spacers to space the bearings out when we're cleaning them. And all these products so far are available on the website, just so you don't remember, StrictlyDerby.com. And then we'll go back after we're done and relubricate with the Bone Speed Cream. And then as far as tools, pretty much all you're going to need is, I use a razor blade, but you can use a lot of different things. You can use a push pin. Anything with a small edge is the key to doing this one. So just make sure that you get something that's going to be real thin, real fine point to be able to take it off. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to leave the red rag out here so everyone can see kind of what's going on step by step. So we'll take our dirty ass bearings, compliments of Max, and you can see, notice there's a good buildup of dirt and muck on these, because he's horrible at cleaning his bearings, and not to mention the fact that I totally got duped into cleaning his bearings for him today. I hope he's proud of himself. So what we're going to do first is, the very first thing, I'll take this really disgusting one here, is you want to go through and just make sure you wipe the shields off, because we don't want to be pushing any dirt into them. And pretty much what I do is grab it by the center raceway, just roll around it, get as much of the dirt off of it as we can. See, look at that, disgusting. Alright, so now these are all cleaned off. Oh yeah, that one's horrible, look at that. Max is grounded. Okay, that one's not too bad. Oh, that one's horrible. Trying to remember which ones the horrible ones are. Alright, that one's decent. Loud, but decent. That one's good. 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 And pretty much what I'm going to go ahead and say is that when you get to this point, sometimes you start spinning these, and you can see that 2 of these are absolutely horrible. Basically, if you have a number of more that spin like that than good ones, you're usually better off just replacing. And the key element to always remember is you're only as fast as your slowest bearing. So make sure you kind of take that into consideration too, that it might not be worth the whole cleaning. Alright, so now we're going to take our razor knife. And now the key to this is you want to grab from the inner raceway. On the outer raceways there's a lip underneath that it grabs. Here they put like almost like just a dust shield, so it's real easy to stick the tool in there and pry the shields off. So everything comes off easy, because that's the key, is removing the shields, because you want everything in the Bones cleaning bottle to make sure it flushes through. So we're going to go ahead and remove all the shields. Like I said, grab from the inners and be real careful, because you don't want to put any dents into the shield, so that way the bearings start to slow down. These ones are double-side shields too, so most of your bearings, like your Bones Reds and your Motos and everything else, are all one-sided, so it's not that big of a deal. You only got to remove one. With Max's, we got to remove 2. So next, all of our shields are off, and you can see this one's got a good amount of water in it, so Max has been running through water again. So we'll go ahead and move our bearings out of the way. Now, this is the Bones cleaning bottle. It's a great tool, one of the ones I recommend. That you can get it on the website. so make sure you go check it out. But basically now what you're going to do is remove the wing nut. Okay, and then your spacers. Now here's all the individual spacers. That one doesn't belong on there. But basically how it goes is you drop a bearing on, then a spacer. Bearing, spacer. And what this does is spaces it out so they're not right on top of each other, so you're not flushing dirt from one bearing to the next. So you just make sure you use the spacers. If not, you're just going to get a stack of flush dirt through everything. So this one will space it out. Make sure you get nice and clean. And now remember, with a roller skate, now you're going to have to do this 2 times because this is only meant to hold 8 on the cleaner. And just stick your wing nut on there and tighten the end, and that's what you'll come up with afterwards. Ta-da! Alright, so now we'll go ahead with our cleaning bottle. And the cube solution is really good, but you can see it tells you all of its finer qualities. Ensures a smoother roll. Helps to prevent thermal breakdown. Very eco-friendly. And cleans any bearing. 8 fluid ounces for the low price of $13. A fine investment and can be reused a couple times. So now we'll combine the two. Now just go ahead and insert your bearings into the cleaning solution. Now, what I should say is too, it also tells you about the instructions on the back of this. So Bones is usually pretty good about keeping you well informed. Their website's there. So now the key to this is oscillating your bearings. You need to oscillate them, agitate them. Don't just call them names. Alright, so now we're done. And there's our bearings, all freshly washed. Max is pretty excited about this as he's filming it, everybody. Just want you to know that. So there you go. Alright, so we just pulled our bearings out of the bottle. The key is to let them dry, and through movie magic, they're already dry. So, anyway, now you're just going to go ahead, pretty much release them off of the bolt. Take out your spacers, and you don't want to lose these. Don't lose them. And now we get everything out. So, pretty much what I'll do, we let them air dry as much as we can. Now just take your rag and go through and dry them off one more time. Make sure the raceways are nice and dry. Just go through, spin them around, get all the excess moisture off them. A lot of people have different techniques for this too. A lot of people, you'll see them get compressed air and blow everything through it. Whatever, I'm not a big fan of
blowing balls.
Blowing balls. Thanks, Max. Random cameo.
That's all I got.
So, get everything dried off. And so, now that we're dried officially,
dry balls.
now I want to go ahead and show you. Now you can see, let me agitate a little bit more. But if you look in the bottle here, you can see how much stuff came out of those bearings. Random hair, dirt, possibly some other solutions, bodily fluids. So that's all what it got out of there. So now our next step is we'll put our bottle back together since we're done with it. And the cleaner you can use a couple times, so you just put it back into the cube bottle. The cube bottle, that's a cylinder. Now, the next thing is to take our shields, and the inside side of the shields, you want to make sure you get any dirt or moisture off them. So we're just going to kind of give them a quick cleaning here to make sure we get everything off. That stuff will cause friction inside the bearing, so you want to make sure you get all that out. Okay. So now we're to this point, and pretty much we're going to snap on one shield, and pretty much I'll try to put the front shield on. Where you see the open side of the balls, that's the front side of the bearing. The back side of the bearing is where you see the retaining ring, the nylon ring right there. So on the side you see the balls, go ahead and just snap your shields back in, and they'll just push back in real easy. And like I said, look for ones and make sure they're not dented or anything like that. Like this one's kind of pushed in. I'll show you how to repair those. So now let's say we do come across a dented shield like we had with this one. It's kind of pushed in the center. You can see it's all kind of weird angles. Now this is a trick that I've used for a while. Is you take a screwdriver. You got a nice rounded edge on the back of it. Find a surface you know it's flat. So we set this on here basically, and just set this to the center of it to where it's hitting the metal, and just work around it this way on the totally flat surface to push everything back flat. Now we got a nice straight shield again. So you just want to check all of them to make sure, like this one's, you can see how far in that one's pushed. Set it back on here. Ta-da, it's all flat now. So, alright, so now our next step, so we're going to grab our bone speed cream. This also is available on the website, StrictlyDerby.com. I want to say it's like $6.50 or $6 or something like that, but I'll have a link if you check the comments or the description of the video. I'll have it in there so you can check it out and get a direct link to the site for it. But it comes in a little classic eyedropper, and this is the question a lot of people have. The big thing is when you lubricate a bearing, let's say you don't go through the whole cleaning process and you want to lubricate it, is you got to make sure you wipe it off first. Make sure you get all the dirt off of it, because you don't want to flush the dirt into the bearing with the lubricant, because the lubricant's a little heavy. But typically what I do is, now we got our one shield on all these. This is the back side of them. So pretty much just take and put a drop of each in here. I do it on two sides all the way through. Go through and do all these. So, and that's pretty much all you need. This eyedropper, you buy once, it lasts forever. This bottle, I couldn't even tell you really how old it is. This is a shot bottle we use on everybody's stuff. So then from there, we're going to snap our secondary shield back on. If you don't have one, then obviously just do that. But after you put the lubricant in, take it with your fingers, grab it from the center raceway, and just work the lubricant straight through it. Just spin them a few times. And that'll help get the lube worked through it, get around the raceways, and basically that'll pretty much do it. Then you should be a lot quieter, a lot faster, run like a brand new bearing again. You remember Max had a couple of really horrible ones that it looks like now everything's free spinning pretty good, so I think it did its job. So we put all that back in. See, they're 100 times quieter too. Alright, and your bearings are done. Then you can just refer to our other video on how to reinstall your bearings into your wheels and onto your skate. So anyway, that's the whole gist of what we're doing. So make sure you go check out the website, StrictlyDerby.com. All this will be for sale. Links are there. And let us know. Leave us a comment. Leave a remark of what you want to see next, and we'll get it taken care of for you. Thanks, guys. Bye.